Good evening everyone. I'm Angeline Alcor at ito po ang report namin about risk management plan. So ang napili po naming company ay Samsung. So bibigyan ko po kayo ng brief description about Samsung Company. Ang Samsung Company po is one of the biggest manufacturers of electrical goods worldwide. And then ang Samsung po ay pagmamay-ari po ng Lee family sa South Korea. At ang Samsung po ay nagpo-focus po sa pagpo-produce ng mga um, business electronics and including integrated systems, digital media players, semiconductors, and mga appliances. At Samsung follows to a standards operating core principle. Ito po yung to devote its talent and technology to creating superior products and services that contribute to a better global society.
Marketing risk.
So dito naman po, ano nga po ba yung mga risk na pwedeng kaharapin ng Samsung? So una po dyan yung marketing risk. So dito po, ito po yung difficult to produce latest smartphones and other products, not enough to retain advantage against rising companies. So alam naman natin ngayon na maraming competitors ang Samsung. So isa sa pwedeng maging risk niya na hindi siya makapag-produce ng mga latest smartphones or mga latest na product ng Samsung dahil nga sa mga competitors niya. So ano nga ba yung plan or action na kailangan natin gawin kailangan gawin ng Samsung para makasabay sa uso or makasabay siya sa mga competitors niya. So kailangan na magkaroon siya ng mga research and development, magkaroon ng mga bagong innovation at mga design strategy at mag-take advantage sa mga bagong opportunities. And then Samsung continuously improves productivity. Kailangan din i-improve nila yung productivity nila para makasabay sila sa mga competitors. At kailangan din nila dyan ng mag-select sila ng mga critical parameters, evaluation of the measurement system, monitoring of critical parameters, and process capability improvement, and kailangan din nila magkaroon ng reaction plan.
Production risk.
So next naman po, ito naman po yung tinatawag na production risk. Ito po yung nagkakaroon ng shortage ng raw materials due to high demand. So ano po ba yung action or plan na kailangan gawin para sa risk na ito? So kailangan po nila mag-select ng reliable suppliers and subcontractors. So kailangan po na magkaroon sila ng suppliers na yun po talaga yung pinagkukuhanan nila, na alam po nila na kahit po magkaroon ng high demand is mapoprovide po yung mga supply or yung mga materials na kailangan nila. And then kailangan din nila ng pag may suppliers na sila, kailangan magkaroon sila ng assessment between their suppliers at kailangan din po nila ng doon sa assessment na yon, kailangan malalaman nila yung kung ano nga ba yung mga technology na gagamitin doon sa mga supply nila, ang quality ba noon, yung pagdi-deliver sa kanila, kung sakto ba yung delivery na kailangan nila dahil meron silang tina-target na kailangan nilang ibenta, kung magkano yon at kung gaano nga ba maapektuhan yung finance nila. And then notifying the suppliers about the evaluation results and their performance activities.
Legal regulatory risk.
Since phones and tablets ang main product ng Samsung, ang risk na maaaring maranasan ng mga consumer nila ay ang data privacy breach. May mga common threats kasi na maaaring makapasok sa ating mga phones and tablets, katulad na lang ng mga viruses, malware, and spyware. At ang mga common threats na ito ay maaaring magkaroon ng access sa iyong IP address, passwords, bank information, or other personal data ang mga hackers. Yun. So, yung Samsung ay nag-build sila ng privacy dashboard na nag-a-allow sa'yo na i-control ang iyong privacy. Tapos, example, may mga malicious apps na nagko-consume ng iyong mga necessary data. Itatap mo lang yung privacy dashboard na yun para ma-prevent at makita kung ano yung mga apps na yon. Aside from that, yung Samsung Philippines ay nakikipag-cooperate sa ating government, which is sinishare rin nila yung mga personal information with our law enforcement agencies when it's required by law to protect Samsung Electronics and its users. In terms of environmental, ang risk na maaaring kaharapin ay global warming dahil isa ang Samsung sa may pinakamataas na nagpo-produce ng CO2 emissions, which is ang contribute sa pollution. And by that, Samsung encourages people na gumamit ng mas efficient na product to lessen the carbon footprint. Inaddress din nila ang environmental justice na nag-i-ensure na lahat ng tao, regardless sa race, color, national origin, or income, ay pantay-pantay na makakatanggap ng protection from environmental risk and hazard. At tsaka, Samsung together with Walmart and the EPA are taking climate action. So, Walmart has set a goal to become a regenerative company targeting zero emissions across its global operations by 2040. Together with Walmart, Samsung is able to scale its impact further by participating in Walmart's Gigaton Challenge to collectively avoid the billion metric tons or a gigaton of greenhouse gases from the global value chain by 2030.
Human resource management risk.
So, hello, I'm Glyza Anto, and for the HRM risk, we have here the work-related risks such as illnesses or injury. This risk po includes unsafe exposure, security incidents, or the worsening of pre-existing situation that could result in penalties, brand damage, and poor employee relations. So here, in order to protect apprentices, trainees, immigrants, and temporary workers, due diligence and consulting with outside experts are conducted by Samsung on a regular basis to monitor the issues and prevent any potential human rights violation. Furthermore, Samsung's work site globally ay obligated na i-follow yung EU Restriction of Hazardous Substances Directive or RoHS and the EU's Registration, Evaluation, Authorization, and Restriction of Chemicals or REACH standards. They also provide regular training for employees who handle chemicals and conduct routine inspection of chemical storage and facilities management. In addition po, the HRM department of Samsung also make sure that workers are given the greatest working conditions so they can utilize their skills to the fullest for the department of the company in order to avoid a risk, illnesses, and injury. Also, HRM make sure that all employees have priority access to structures like social securities, health insurance, welfare funds, and medical care, which I think can help po also to make them stay at the company kasi alam na po nila na safe and secured po sila habang nagtatrabaho. Next, risk within the HRM is the reduction of manpower. This risk is more likely the inability to build a strong, competent personnel, sufficient employment offer, and the growth opportunities required to attain and motivate the workforce that may cause the employee to become demotivated and feel forced to put down his or her papers and decide to quit the organization. So, in order to lessen and or avoid the impact of this risk from happening, Samsung, our choosing company, adheres to the core principle of HCRM. Pag sinabi pong CRM, ito po yung concept ng customer relationship management na gumagamit ng iba't ibang strategies and software para matulungan ang company na ma-organize and ma-optimize ang relationship nila towards their customer. Ito po yung concept ng CRM and Samsung plans to stick on this concept na gamitin sa mga employee nila as this benefits to run employee-related tasks including payrolls, attendance, and productivity ratios that could result a good company-employee relationship. They also uses profitable compensation plans based on high performance levels, which encourage and motivate employees to go above and beyond in the future and advance their careers. So in addition, the organization also place a high value in offering timely interval trainings to its employees in order to raise competency levels within the workforce. This training po includes sending their employees abroad or anywhere to study and gain more knowledge and experience to their field. That we think also can help the organization to prosper without worrying that their employee is having a hard time doing the job as they are already well trained po. This will help to avoid the said risk from happening.
Financial risk.
Hi, my name is Mariana Ranas, and for the last topic is financial risk of Samsung and the danger posed by modification to or changes in the application of tax legislation is known as tax risk. Organization now operates in a world where tax is seen as a moral issue, with news stories frequently focusing on how an organization manages its tax affairs. This has resulted in tax becoming a reputational risk for organization. And sabi nga dito, ang tax is seen as a moral issue. So parang pag hindi nakapagbayad ng tax ang Samsung, and since ang Samsung is a big company in Philippines, not only in Philippines but also in other countries, na pag isa na pagbayad ng buwis, parang sobrang big deal na to sa Pilipino. And ang likelihood of the risk occurring neto is low since Samsung is big company nga. Namamonitor nila kung kailan sila magbabayad ng buwis, and impact if the risk occurs is high. Ang Samsung, like I said before, this is a big company, not only in Philippines, kaya pag nangyari to, sobrang laking bagay na to. And yung action plan ng Samsung for this risk is Samsung SDI truthfully and faithfully fulfills its obligation of tax reporting and payment in countries where Samsung SDI does business. And also, Samsung SDI do not use tax structure that does not have commercial substance for tax avoiding purposes, nor do we engage in cross-border income transfer or tax avoiding transaction using tax havens. At the same time, Samsung SDI actively deals with changing taxation policies in various countries. For this end, all tax employees of the company perform their work according to Samsung SDI legitimate tax strategy.
Risk register.
So, yung sa akin naman po ay ang risk register. Andito yung likelihood of the risk occurring and tsaka yung impact nito kapag nangyari na. So, una-una dyan ay ang marketing risk. So, marketing risk, difficult to produce later smartphones and other products. Not enough to retain advantage against rising companies. So, yung likelihood of the risk occurring is high. Siyempre, kung ganitong klase yung risk, ibig sabihin, dapat nang mabahala ang Samsung dahil ito ay makakasira sa kanilang kumpanya at hindi sila makakasabay sa ibang mga kumpanyang papabilis na sa pag-unlad. At ang impact rin nito ay malaki. Siyempre, kung nagkakaroon ng kahirapan ang Samsung sa pag-produce ng mga bagong smartphone, ibig sabihin, may iwanan sila sa market. Kapag naiwanan sila sa market, malalaki ang kanilang mailulugi dito. So, ang mitigating action namin ay binasa namin sa plano rin ng Samsung. So, research and development to be able to adapt to the pace of innovation and design strategy and take advantage of new opportunities. Samsung continuously improves productivity by controlling variations in various processes in a stable way. Closed-loop methodology consisting of a selection of critical parameters, evaluation of the measurement system, monitoring of critical parameters, process capability, improvement, and reaction plan. So, sa mga ganitong plano, sa ganitong mga risk, mayroong mga nakandang plano ang Samsung. So, next. Ang next ay ang production risk. Shortage of raw materials due to high demand. So, ang likelihood na mangyari ng risk nito ay low. At ang impact naman kung mangyari ang risk na ito ay mataas. So, kung mangyari ito ay magkakaroon ng, tulad ng sinabi ko sa una sa marketing risk, mahihirapan mag-produce ang Samsung dahil kulang-kulang sila sa materyales. At kung kulang-kulang sila sa materyales, hindi sila makakasabay sa ibang kumpanya na mayroong mga nakahandang iba't ibang materyales para sa kanilang mga makabagong produkto. So, ang mitigating action dito ng Samsung ay ang selecting and developing reliable suppliers or subcontractors. Assessment of suppliers' performance in detail. Technology, quality, delivery, cost, and finance. Notifying the suppliers about the evaluation, results, and their performance activities. At ang sunod na risk ay ang legal or regulatory risk. Data privacy breach, global warming, environmental regulatory. So, ang likelihood of the risk occurring sa panahon ngayon ay high, and ang impact nito sa kumpanya kung mangyari ay heightened sapagkat ang mga ganitong risk ay makaka-apekto sa Samsung dahil unang-una sa data privacy breach, kung ito ay makuha ng iba, maaaring mapunta sa danger ang kaligtasan at privacy ng mga user ng Samsung sapagkat hindi nila iniingatan ito ng mabuti. Dapat inaalagaan nila ito, at kung may ganitong klase ng risk sa kumpanya, dapat solusyonan agad nila kung saan masisecure ang safety ng kanilang mga user. So, ang mitigating action dito ng Samsung ay a new system called Privacy Dashboard is built under government law and policy. And Samsung Pay shares personal information with law enforcement agencies when it's required by law or to protect Samsung Electronics and its users. So, taking climate action, energy equity, making energy savings accessible to all communities, addressing environmental justice. So, itong mga mitigating action na binabanggit ko ay nakabase sa kanila ring plano ng Samsung company. So, next one is ang human resource management. Work-related illnesses and injury, and reduction of manpower. So, likelihood of the risk occurring is medium lamang sapagkat hindi naman ito ganong makaka-apekto sa kumpanya sapagkat marami namang empleyado ang Samsung. So, impact of the risk occur kung mangyari ay low lamang sapagkat kung masira man sa loob ng kumpanya, maaari pa rin naman sila mag-train ng ibang mga tao kung saan sila ay makakatulong agad sa kumpanya. At ang mitigating action dito ay due to diligence and consulting with outside experts are conducted by Samsung on regular basis to monitor issues and prevent any potential human rights violations. All employees have priority access to structures like Social Security, health insurance, welfare funds, and medical care. So, HCRM course and practices timely interval of training develops a variety of sources. So, yun nga. At ang last risk ay ang financial risk. So, ito. The danger posed by modification to or changes in the application of tax legislation is known as tax risk. Organizations now operate in a world where tax is seen as moral issue, with news stories frequently focusing on how an organization manages its tax affairs. This has resulted in tax becoming a reputational risk for organizations. So, likelihood of the risk occurring is low lamang. And impact ng risk kapag nangyari ay mataas sapagkat alam naman natin ang tax ay ang pinakamalaking kalaban ng mga businessman. Kung hindi ka magbabayad ay maaari kang makasuhan dito at maaaring mapasira ang iyong kumpanya. So, mitigating action ng Samsung. Samsung SDI truthfully and faithfully fulfills its obligation of tax reporting and payment in countries where Samsung SDI does business. Samsung SDI do not use a tax structure and does not have commercial substance for tax avoiding purposes, nor do we engage in cross-border income transfer or tax avoiding transaction using tax havens. Ng katlo ay, at the same time, Samsung SDI actively deals with changing taxation policies in various countries. For this end, all tax employees of the company perform their work according to Samsung SDI legitimate tax strategy. So, thank you sa pakikinig sa aming grupo at yun lamang po ang aming report. Maraming salamat po ulit.